awful lot of stuff we got to talk about this week in the park, so let's not waste any time. Let's get straight to it, and let's talk about some theme parks. So let's go ahead and start up at Magic Mountain and see what's going on up there. I mentioned a couple weeks ago that Magic Mountain was going to be playing host to an EDM party, which is going to be put on by, it's like a traveling electronic dance music promotion called RASA, R-A-S-A. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. But it's going to be opening up the park from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. And it's basically going to be the front of the park only. Now, because this is its first annual event over at Six Flags, I'm not sure how the layout is actually going to work, because when we went on Sunday, we noticed that all of the normal DJ booths and stages were taken down. So there's a lot of room up there in the front of the park. Now, I also read that there's 3 different tiers of tickets. There's the Tier 1 general admission, Tier 2 VIP, and Tier 3 backstage passes. Now, keep in mind, the general admission and the VIP sold out. I don't know how many tickets they had to sell with this. I'm assuming it's a lot, but the only thing that's left that's available now is the backstage passes, and those run about $450. So you get a lot of perks with those, but it's a lot of coin to spend for 7 hours of entertainment. The website boasts that they're putting on multiple stages, and I'm not really sure how much of the park is going to be open. If it's the same as like Scream Break, then they'll have one stage up in the front and one in the back by the Steampunk and Metropolis areas. However, one thing I did notice that with the VIP passes, you get the Flash Pass for the rides that are going to be open. But from what I'm gathering, there's only going to be a couple rides open, and I think it's like Revolution, Full Throttle, and the Carousel, and I think that's it. So I don't know if Flash Pass is generally necessary. On the other hand, if there's going to be a lot of people and only those rides are open, those lines will probably be pretty long. If they do open up that back area, like they do for Scream Break over by Steampunk, which I don't know why they wouldn't, with the exception of maybe like security issues, I don't see why they wouldn't open also Goliath and maybe even Scream and Twisted Colossus like they do for Scream Break. There's not a lot of information out on this event. I went to the website, and it really just kind of explains who they are and what they do and like the events that they do worldwide. So March 16th is when that is happening, and the following week we prepare for the second annual Scream Break. It looks like we're getting it for 4 weeks this year, from March 18th all the way to April 16th. So an entire month of Screams. And it's only going to be on weekends, Fridays and Saturdays. It's going to be open, I believe, until 9 p.m. to midnight. And then on Sundays, it'll just be from 9 to 11. So it's not a huge window of time to go do all this stuff, but it's not the entirety of Fright Fest. From my understanding, if they do what they did last year, it's just going to be opening up Vault 666 and Condemned with Spring Break overlays, and then a couple of DJ booths and some rides that'll be open. We had a blast doing this last year. I suggest you, if you have a couple hours on a weekend, I suggest you go do it too. It's worth it if you're into Halloween and if you're kind of jonesing for that horror. Be prepared to be screamed while you're sucking down your Mai Tais or whatever you do on Spring Break. I don't know. I'm 42 years old. I don't know what these kids are up to these days. So they also did announce the slate of rides that are going to be open, and it's the same as they had last year. It's Wonder Woman, Batman, Scream, Twisted Colossus, Goliath, and Full Throttle. Not bad, especially this is kind of a good opportunity for you to go ride these rides if you don't ever really get a chance to ride them on weekends or something when you go. We went last year and there was 0 line. Every single ride was a walk-on. So Scream's aplenty. As far as the actual construction goings on around Six Flags, what everybody's paying attention to is what's happening over there at the Golden Bear Theater, and all the speculation that's going on about what's going to be there next. The theater is finally kind of torn. It's finally torn down. It's just beams and a pile of rubble now. The heavy rumor is still a Giga Coaster for what's going to replace what was at Golden Bear. So that's Six Flags. Let's go ahead and move on south to Knott's Berry Farm. At the Knott's Hotel, they opened up the 30 Acres Kitchen and Bar this week, and it looks amazing. The nice blend of then and now makes this a really cool place to go. If you're staying at the hotel, this is definitely a bonus. I cannot wait to try the food. It's Looks amazing. There is a whole buttload of drinks to order at this bar now. And that's just the mixed drinks. There's also a whole fountain of beer. They've got a Starbucks in there as well. Now, just the inside is open. They haven't opened the outdoor section yet. They still got a little bit of work they got to do with that. I'm assuming that that's going to be open at the same time as they open the actual front of the hotel itself. Probably only a few weeks away from that. So, nice. Also, something that's probably nothing. I shared a little bit of it in the last vlog that I put out on Friday while I was walking to the park, is they bagged up the Emporium store again. My assumption is that they are just changing everything out from the Christmas season to bring in like the summer stuff for Boysenberry Festival, summer nights, and all that. I know I got a little overexcited in the video before and was talking with Andrea about maybe they're bringing the Halloween store back year round. And as much as I would love for that to happen, I don't think that's the case. I think this is just they're changing seasons, and while they do that, they don't want people kind of in the way. So expect the Emporium store to be open again here in a couple weeks, if not a week. Now, one thing that Knott's is doing right now is a ton of construction around the park. They've got a big project in the Knott's Hotel that they are this close to finishing, but they also have Camp Snoopy. And Camp Snoopy is just hauling butt. They gave themselves a very quick turnaround for that park. They said Memorial Day is when it's going to be reopening, and they're basically redoing the entire place. The store, the theater, a bunch of rides, and possibly a little land expansion depending on what happens to Montezuma's Revenge. But there are so many people that are constantly there working. We were able to get a ton of different vantage points when we went on Tuesday. And while it's still in the demo phase, they haven't actually started going vertical on anything. They are flying by. And they still have, 3 months or so to get this done. They've been working on it for about a month and a half now, and they're already this far. So I expect them to be pretty close to being done by that timeline. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it by Memorial Day, but definitely during summer night sometime. That's Knott's in a nutshell. So let's go ahead and head north up to Universal Studios. Universal did some weird stuff on their Twitter this week, or X, if you will. They were putting out a bunch of weird, like pixelated images and posting all kinds of stuff about video games. But they announced this week that they have a new DLC map for Minecraft that I believe is modeled after Universal Orlando. I myself am not a Minecraft player. I have seen the footage of the gameplay, and it looks fun. It looks awesome. I know there were rumors swirling around about a Minecraft live action movie. I don't know how that's going to happen because all of the charm in Minecraft is based on the fact that it's 6-bit, 8-bit pixelated worlds. So you can't really make that live action unless you get really over the top corny with it. But maybe, I know they did the same thing with Disney World, I believe a few years ago. Minecraft did a collaboration with Disney. But what this could mean is possibly maybe Universal does the Minecraft movie. And this is getting a little crazy, but what if, since Springfield will be out sooner rather than later, unfortunately, what if that's replaced by Minecraft? You have a whole Minecraft world in the back area of Universal Hollywood. Just throwing things out there. I don't know anything, but so anything's a possibility these days. I know with the Fast and Furious coaster that's coming in right there, a lot of people are leaning more towards it being like the underground at Magic Mountain, kind of a car street vibe area, which I'm okay with that too. That's totally fine as well. But you replace a kid zone with a kid zone. Springfield with, I don't know, Springfield's really for kids, but a cartoon with a cartoon. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying to put the pieces together. I'm trying to link the chain here.
I'm the weak link. I apologize.
As far as the Fast and Furious coaster goes, they are still, the rain kind of slowed them down a lot last week, but they're back buzzing forward again on it. We still don't have a release, an announcement on when they're going to actually open the ride up. Everybody's hoping for the end of the year this year. My thoughts are probably early 2025. But who knows? At this point, these things go up so fast. The backlot also, they stopped letting people go back to the base motel. So they're probably putting that hotel back together, but they also have that, so there's something going on with that path back behind it as well. I'm wondering if they're actually going to have that be part of the tram route now where you go around. They're going to have to widen that path quite a bit if they want to get the trams through there, but it's always a possibility. And the tour could use a little bit of an upgrade, a little bit of an update. It's kind of gone stale. It's been the same thing for years now, basically since they added the Fast and Furious ending to it. Earthquake is still down. They still are redoing that. When they get that back, that'll be a nice addition to the tram as well, just because it's a fun little experience to be in. It's different from the rest of the tram. Now, on the subject of Universal, this is not Hollywood, obviously, this is Orlando, but the big news for the foreseeable future is going to be the building of this epic universe in Orlando. I managed to watch a couple videos online, just updating kind of what's happening with these worlds. So it's crazy, and I want to go back to how these people managed to do this. Building basically an entire theme park. They're building all of these lands, all of these worlds at the same time. And a lot of them are really far along. There's a couple individual things that really caught my eye that I am very, very excited for. And if I didn't want to visit Universal Orlando before, I definitely want to visit it now. One is the Starfall Racers, which is basically West Coast Racers. It's the racing system with the two cars that ride next to each other and do all that. But the catch here is at night, they're not lighting the track up, but they're lighting the vehicles up. So at night, it looks like shooting stars racing each other. Such a good idea. So simple. Such a cool idea. I cannot wait to see what that looks like at night. Also, the Donkey Kong Minecart Madness, I think is what it's called. Just because that's kind of a different thing than what we have at the Super Nintendo World here. We only have Bowser's Challenge. They're also doing the Yoshi Dark Ride, which I think is something else that they have at Universal Japan. So that's cool, but adding that extra ride and making it Donkey Kong themed is exciting, and it looks cool. It looks different. It's not just a regular like minecart coaster ride. It's the way that they have the vehicles almost look like the Harry Potter claws. It's interesting, but it's going to add like a different dimension to how you experience the ride itself. Dark Universe looks so great. That's what I'm probably the most excited for, is Dark Universe. I don't know what's going to be the actual attraction in there. I know they've got the Wolfman. It's like a Wolfman family coaster, I think, that they're doing. But there's something in Dracula's Castle that they're building, and I'm not sure if it's a dark ride or a show. It was labeled like the Frankenstein Experience or something. So I don't know. But either way, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a ride because they got a big queue that they're setting up for. Harry Potter World looks amazing. That land is just going to be a spectacle all in itself because the way that they're building those buildings so high. And then how to Train Your Dragon, which is just going to be awe-inspiring. Just to see the land itself around the big lake, and that's kind of like the water park of the universe. But anyway, that's Universal Orlando. Universal Hollywood, we get to look forward to this Fast and Furious coaster. That's what we get. And that is the parks this week. It's quite a bit of info to take in. I apologize if this was a little lengthy, but like I said, a lot of things happened. So is there anything that I missed that you want to talk about? Is there anything that we'd like to dive a little bit deeper into? You let me know. The floor is yours. Let's talk.